Hi, it's Robert Naini, your spray foam advisor. And this week I got a question from one of my followers, Elmer Swari. He writes in and says, "Hi Robert, I enjoy your weekly videos. Could you give us some insight and education on ERVs and HRVs? With today's tight houses being insulated with spray foam, should I be recommending these to homeowners? Thanks." Elmer with Spray Foam Insulation Services out of Fleetwood, Pennsylvania. Well, Elmer, let's talk about this. This brings up an interesting point when it comes to spray foam insulation and how we approach structures. Of course, we know that we're making buildings tighter by using an air barrier and insulation in a single application. And especially when we go into retrofit applications or even new construction, and we're creating closed attic assemblies, eliminating ventilation from attic structures, where our goal is to tighten up houses as much as possible. General building science philosophy says seal it tight and ventilate it right. And now the second part of that, ventilate it right, is where ERVs and HRVs come into play. Now this generally applies because of mechanical guidelines. So when you start looking into the mechanical side of things, the HVAC side of things, there's going to be ventilation guidelines for a house. So you hear this idea that structures need to breathe very often, but more often than not, what it really means and what people are really trying to say is that structures can be underventilated. So a structure cannot be too tight. Our goal from an energy purpose, from an energy standpoint, is to tighten up systems as much as possible and then take care of the indoor air quality from the inside out using a proper air management system. And that air management system is going to need some type of ventilation. And it's going to need some type of makeup air from the outside being brought into the structure, and then generally going to be pumped in through the mechanical system to condition it before it's introduced into the structure itself. Now that makeup air, to be compliant with ASHRAE 62.2, one of the key guidelines in the mechanical industry for ventilation, it can be as simple as a duct coming in from the outside and going directly to the supply side of or the return side, sorry, of the HVAC system. It could be that simple if the mechanical contractor wants to make it that simple, or the mechanical professional on the project. However, there are also other types of products available in the industry like ERVs or HRVs. Now, HRV stands for heat recovery ventilator, and generally what that means is it's going to be a unit that connects the mechanical system to the fresh air intake from the outside. And so it's going to have an exhaust to the outside and an intake from the outside. That intake is going to come through the HRV or ERV, and they're going to actually cross paths inside this piece of mechanical equipment. And an HRV, heat recovery ventilator, it's actually telling you what it's going to do is the air coming in is going to recover some heat energy from the air going out. And so there's actually going to be a transfer of heat energy from either, one way or the other, either the air coming in or the air going out is going to transfer heat to the other component, to the other part of the HRV system, so that you're preconditioning the air that you're bringing into the structure. And with an ERV, not only are these systems able to transfer heat energy, but they're also able to transfer moisture energy as well. And so they're able to humidify or dehumidify the air coming in or going out and change the humidity levels of the incoming ventilation air when you're looking at an ERV systems. So the ERV and HRV are basically advanced ways to provide ventilation to tighter structures. So yes, these can be very good solutions for retrofit applications. These can be very good solutions for new construction applications. Ultimately though, the call for how the ventilation air is brought in from the outside and how it's managed, it falls on the mechanical contractor. So as the insulation or the building envelope professional in the process, you can bring up this conversation, but it's going to require you to be in contact and have a relationship more often than not with the mechanical contractor so that both of you guys are on the same page, because ultimately the mechanical contractor is going to make sure that the system meets ASHRAE guidelines and has the right ventilation, has the right makeup ventilation air, and is going to determine how that air is coming in from the outside. Once again, ERVs and HRVs are used to provide some type of recovery so that the air going out transfers some of its energy and or humidity to the air coming in, so that that air can be preconditioned before it goes into the building envelope. So that's the idea behind the ERVs and HRVs. Definitely consider how to incorporate those into your recommendations. But most importantly, really, you're going to have to work with mechanical contractors in the grand scheme of your business if you want to have a solid recommendation, because ultimately it's going to be their strategies for how they implement those that really come into play for the building owner in the end. So that's what I have on that question, Elmer. Thank you very much for shooting in that question. Guys, I love questions. Anyone out there, feel free to shoot in a question. I'll give you an email address right here for any questions you have. Send them to questions@sprayfoamadvisor.com. sprayfoamadvisorsingular.com. So questions@sprayfoamadvisor.com. Go ahead and send those questions in. I'll get to as many of them as I can, and I'll try to incorporate a select few into some of my weekly videos. And of course, if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to the blog if you haven't already done that. Find us on YouTube and like and follow us there. And check us out on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Find us on all of your favorite social media sites, and you can keep up with the words of wisdom coming out of Spray Foam Advisor. Thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate it. We'll catch you on some more videos. Take care.